Meteorologist Oceana Hayden, starting y'all out with our Wednesday edition of FSU weather. Starting out with our look at Doak Campbell Stadium. We are sitting 73 and pretty sunny right now actually across the entire Big Bend region. We are seeing low 70s, high of 69 in Perry, 65 in Apalachicola. So we are sitting very mild and dry right now here in Tallahassee. Our futurecast shows we are going to get down into the 50s tonight, but tomorrow will warm up to about 75, 80 degrees. Tonight, again, we're looking at high 40s, low 50s around the entire area, 45 Thomasville, 50 Apalachicola down by the coast. But overall, we are looking pretty mild starting tomorrow. 80 degrees, partly cloudy. Tomorrow's going to be a great day to go outside if you want to do so. We will have some rain coming into the weekend, so it is probably best to get outside tomorrow before all that rain comes in. Tonight we will be talking about low dew points across the nation, the spring equinox, which happened yesterday, and our spotlight city in Unalaska, Alaska. All that and more here on FSU Weather.
Good evening, Florida State. My name is Isabel Weiss here with FSU Weather, and let's get into a look over Doak Campbell Stadium. Beautiful clear skies. We can see that the sun is still high in the air, and that's because of that time change that happened last week. It is 73 degrees, mostly sunny, and wind at 7 miles an hour. It's going to keep us a little bit cooler. As we've seen in the last couple of days, we've been a little bit chillier. The low is 36 degrees with an average low at 49 degrees, so it's much colder, but the high is sitting right around the average high, which is only 1 degree lower. So it's much colder, but not too much colder as a high. The current temperatures in this area, it's very warm all over the Big Bend region, 73 degrees in Tallahassee, like I just said, and in the lower 70s for most of the areas. The only time that we might see colder temperatures is down by the coast in 69 in Perry and in the mid-60s in Apalachicola. Dew points, as was said earlier, it's very dry, 29 degrees for the dew point in Tallahassee. That means the difference between the temperature right now and the temperature of the dew point, that's going to be how dry it is. So the bigger that difference is, the drier it is. So it's going to be very dry all over the Big Bend region. Something else that's going to contribute to the way we're going to be feeling is this 7-mile-per-hour wind. That's going to make us a little bit colder than it might be where the winds are steady in Monticello and Quincy. And then much colder down in Apalachicola with 13-mile-per-hour winds. This is the storm outlook. So in the next 3 days up until Friday, we are sitting mainly in the non-severe range, except for down in the southwest Big Bend region. You might have marginal risk of some sort of storm development in the next 3 days. This is the current radar. What you're going to be seeing in this area, that's going to be mainly scatter from the radar, and over in this general region, that is going to be a fire that is coming up in that area. So this is our future forecast for the next couple of days. It is 75 degrees in Tallahassee, and we're sitting in the mid-70s for the rest of that region. Tallahassee Nursery, it's going to be a beautiful day if you want to go walk in that area, maybe get some plants for the next coming spring. Dog walk forecast. It is a very lovely day to walk your dog tomorrow. I would suggest walking maybe a little bit later. It might be a little chilly in the morning. Tonight's lows, it is 47 degrees. Those little bullet marks are going to show where there's no cloud cover in the sky. Tomorrow's local forecast, it's going to be a little bit warmer than we've seen today, and this is a look at your week ahead. I'm going to take a step out of Florida, or out of the Big Bend region, and look at Florida with Ryan.
Thanks, Isabel. So the rest of Florida looking beautiful right now. We've got downtown Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Pensacola on our sky cams here. Absolutely glorious sunshine out and about and abundant across the state of Florida right now. 65 over in Pensacola. And we get warmer as we head down I-10 and down the coastline. 74 degrees in Orlando and Jacksonville, 72 in Tampa. Not a cloud in sight. It is absolutely glorious to get out and about. I know a lot of us are on spring break throughout the rest of the state. Ours was last week, but the rest of the state might be on spring break right now, or those visiting for spring break seeing absolutely glorious conditions right now. 74 in Orlando, 72 down in Tampa, If you're down in Miami, 74 degrees. A little more cloud cover as we work towards Miami and Jacksonville. But nonetheless, if you're hanging out on spring break or going outside tonight, we got good temperatures for you. So our dew point wise, 35 over in Pensacola. We're going to be working as we get further down the state. It's going to be a little bit more humid, more moisture is going to be in there. So Key West at 69, Miami 58. And as we go through the next few days, we're going to notice those dew points start to climb their way up as we get further and further through the week. So our dew points are actually going to start to rise up across the state. And more and more of that green is going to be coming through. So more of that green thumb effect that Florida likes to have so much. By Friday, all of the state will be covered in that green, showing moist conditions and high dew points. Our satellite radar right now is pretty quiet, even though the rest of the state is going to be seeing some rain as we move into the next few days. So let's take a look at the outlook. By Friday, Pensacola will be seeing about 7% coverage of showers and storms, 70 degrees. Saturday, 72, will be clearing out. Over in Jacksonville, both Friday and Saturday are going to be our rainy days. So as we enter the overnight, that warm front is going to be pushing its way through. 90% coverage of storms by Friday, and then 60% coverage of storms by Saturday, hopefully clearing out as we get later into today. Over in Tampa, we're going to be seeing more of that rainfall as the system kind of works its way off the coast. So 90% coverage of showers and storms on Friday, 74 degrees for your Friday, getting up to 80 degrees by Saturday as those showers finally start to push their way out of Tampa. Over in downtown Orlando, 10% coverage of showers and storms for your Thursday, 81 degrees. And then by Friday, that's when we'll be dealing with our rainfall in downtown Orlando and across the Orlando metro area. And then over by Saturday, the rain will start to clear its way out. So if you're going back to the beaches for the end of the spring break for some of us, that'll be a nice time. Over in Miami, I would say you probably want to get out tomorrow for your spring break activities or out to the beach, because then by Friday and Saturday, that's when those rain chances are going to start to climb up. You're going to want to be inside. So as we get into the overnight tonight, we're going to be getting cool across the I-10 corridor, but then as we head down I-95 and I-75, we get a little bit warmer. We're looking towards Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Myers, staying in the 50s, and then all the way down in West Palm and Miami, getting nice and warm. And by tomorrow, we're going to be seeing in the 80s in spots of Florida, 80 in Tallahassee, 82 in Orlando, 81 in Tampa, and 80 in Miami. Oceana, the rest of the country is looking pretty good as well, or the rest of Southeast at least.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. So it is actually looking gorgeous in the entire state of Florida, but also here in the southeast region as well. Charleston and Charlotte looking gorgeous in the Carolinas. For our current conditions across the entire area, it's all very similar. We are seeing low 70s all across the area here in Little Rock, 75, 71 in Nashville, 74 in Charlotte, and down in Miami we are sitting at 74. So our lowest spot being in New Orleans at 69 degrees, but all around we are sitting pretty sunny for right now. Our dew points are remaining very dry. You see those dew points are very far away from the temperature, like Isabel had mentioned. So we are seeing drier than normal conditions over here in the southeast. Miami and South Florida looking a little bit more moist, 58-degree dew point down there. But all around we are seeing 30-degree dew points in the entire southeast. For our storm outlook, Friday is the day to look out for as far as storms. Really in the entire southeast, up here in Pensacola, Tallahassee, we are seeing non-severe. South Florida is where we could see marginal risk of storms and thunderstorms. So definitely watch out if you are going out Friday into Saturday. Bring that umbrella with you and be careful when driving, of course. Our wind speeds are looking very mild across the area. Our highest points, our fastest points being Nashville at 10 miles per hour, Little Rock at 10 miles per hour, and Charlotte at 13 miles per hour. But everywhere else is looking underneath 10 miles per hour. So pretty nice breezy days coming. Our satellite shows really not much going on in the entire southeast. We do have some more cloud coverage pushing into New Orleans, but our entire state of Florida and Georgia, we are looking very clear right now. There are not any sites of precipitation. So you can see in our upper level water vapor that it is also very, very dry, which is why we do not see any thunderstorms in our area right about now. Now Friday is when these storms will start to push through, which is what we're looking at on that Storm Prediction Center outlook. We have some storms pushing in through Louisiana and Mississippi on Friday. This is at 4 a.m. So starting really early Friday morning, that western portion of the southeast is going to see some of those storms, but later on Friday is when they will push towards Tallahassee and the eastern of Georgia and down into the end of the area. You can see all of that push through, pretty much gone by 11 p.m. Saturday, but really all of Friday and Saturday is what you want to look out for when it comes to the rain. So here's our rainfall forecast. We are expecting our highest points of rain to be in Miami, 2.74 inches, and 1.56 is expected in Orlando. Here in Tallahassee, we are at 0.28, but tonight, all across the area, we are looking low 40s, high 40s in Tallahassee at 46, and tomorrow we are going to be quite warm all across the area. But Ryan and Isabel, how was your first day of spring?
You know, I feel like I didn't really notice it was spring, and I guess, you know, spring started last night at 11 o'clock, so maybe today was kind of the first full day of spring.
So I thought spring started last week, and it felt like that when it was spring break. Most of us went to a tropical place, but then right back Tuesday morning, it was in the 30s, and I was very surprised to see that in this time of year.
And with the amount of pollen and allergies in there, it feels like it's been spring for about 5 months, and it just won't end.
Exactly.
But the March equinox, also called the vernal equinox, occurred in the northern hemisphere just a couple days ago.
Yeah, so that's when the sun crosses above the equator from south to north, and that actually happened at 11:06 last night.
Both hemispheres receive the sun's rays equally, so at day and night, they're equal length at this equinox.
Yeah, but it's been a beautiful spring so far. We have flowers coating our campus all throughout the area. This is a graphic of what this equinox looks like from space.
Yeah, so the sun is dead equal with the equator and equal day, equal night. So it began Tuesday, March 19th at 11:06 p.m. But now let's take a look outside. We're going to take a look at our lifestyle forecast. So let's start by taking a look out there. So taking a look at the Sportsplex, Panama City, Northeast Tallahassee, Lake Bradford. Again, that sunshine is abundant. We've got a few clouds over towards Panama City, but as people are starting to get halfway through their spring break plans, nothing major to worry about until we start to get closer towards the weekend. Here's another look at the Tallahassee nurseries, where it's been absolutely beautiful the last few days. Tallahassee kind of just staying nice and comfortable right now. A little cool in the morning, but we're getting there. Our local radar, pretty quiet right now, just some scatter as well as some smoke from wildfires being picked up right now on the radar. So if you're heading out to karaoke on Wednesday night, I don't know what song I would sing. Lately I've been listening to a lot of Tom Petty, so maybe like American Girl. But 45 degrees if you're heading out, partly cloudy and wind about 5 miles per hour. So a nice night if you're heading out. But if you're going out tomorrow and wondering what to wear, you probably want to start with something warmer like a jacket, but then it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow, so you're definitely going to want that t-shirt, shorts, or whatever is going to keep you comfortable in 80-degree weather. Oh, by the way, have you noticed our baseball team is 19-0 and just recently got ranked? Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about committees later. But 53, cloudy with periods of rain as they head up to Clemson, South Carolina. Our brothers leaving the ACC, or at least suing the ACC, at number 4 in the baseball rankings. They're heading up there Friday. If you're heading out for a dog walk tomorrow morning, it's going to be an absolutely nice start. It will be cool, like I mentioned, so maybe wait a little bit, like Isabella mentioned. 67 degrees at 11 o'clock, so as we get later into the day, that's when we're going to want to be bringing the dogs out. If you're flying out of Tallahassee International Airport tomorrow, no expected delays and clear flying conditions. And as we look at the rest of the country, Atlanta looking clear, Dallas, Fort Worth, Los Angeles, all looking clear. A little bit of rain in JFK, but not impacting any flights at the moment. And if you're going out to Tallahassee Wine Mixer, that sounds like a fun time, right? Saturday at 4 to 7 at the Marriott Hotel, 60% coverage of showers. So might want to bring an umbrella with you, just in case. But where there's wine, there's not really a lot of rain going on. 75 degrees for Tom Brown Park on Sunday, mostly sunny and 6-mile-per-hour winds. And heading into the night tonight, we are going to want to bring something with us to keep us warm. At least, early in the morning tomorrow, 47 degrees in Tallahassee, 47 in Monticello, 48 over in Stop Shop, getting a little bit cooler as we cross the line into Georgia. But overall, your weekend planner, let's start with Thursday, and then we'll go day by day. Thursday, that's the day, right? 80 degrees, plenty of sunshine. And then as we get into Friday, that front approaches, brings us some rain, and Saturday as well, bring us some rain and showers. Temperatures getting comfortable, but we are going to be dealing with that rain throughout the day. So, Shiana, the National, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the National.
Yeah, thanks. So we do have a lot to talk about here in the entire United States. We are looking pretty warm here in the southern area of the United States, but here in Minneapolis and Bismarck, we are sitting below freezing, 32 in Minneapolis, 25 in Bismarck. Our current dew points do show that a majority of the country is pretty dry, just like we are in the southeast. We actually have a negative dew point here in Minnesota, and all across the area we have pretty much all dry dew points. We have 11 in Chicago, 22 in Kansas City, and our moist areas are going to be in Texas. We have Dallas and San Antonio at 51, 53 degree dew points. For our upper level water vapor, we are seeing that dryness persist. We do have some areas down here in the Texas region that are coming in as a little bit more moist, and up in the Washington region, a little bit more moisture in the upper levels. But overall, we're staying pretty dry. That is likely thanks to this cold front that is coming through, leaving behind a lot of high pressure behind it and leaving behind some dry air. We do see we have an area of high pressure in the southeast, which is giving to our very low dew points. We have areas of low pressure up behind the front here, Chicago, and some snow in the northeast. And we also have a high pressure system here in the western portion of the United States. We are looking at Las Vegas, San Francisco. All those areas are sitting in high pressure, nice dry weather right now. For our storm outlook day 1, so that is going to be tonight, we are seeing some marginal risk here in the Texas-Oklahoma area. We have non-severe though in majority of the areas, so if you are on that border of Oklahoma, Texas, that's where you could see that marginal risk. On tomorrow, Thursday, is when we're going to have our slight risk increase in southern Texas. So definitely watch out if you are in these areas. If you're really in the entire Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma region, we do have some smaller areas here in the western parts of the United States that could have some slight risk, non-severe risk. But that slight risk is what we really want to take serious. There could be some very severe thunderstorms in southern Texas tomorrow, but that should subside by Friday. We will see that non-severe head into the southeast and into Florida with a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms in the southern area of Florida. So Friday is when we really should look out here in the southeast, and Thursday is when we should look out in Texas. Some active alerts that we have going on here in the United States. We have some winter weather advisories here in North Dakota, Montana, Minnesota. All of those areas are seeing some winter weather advisories, but on the contrast, we are seeing some fire weather, some really dry conditions here in Virginia. So keep an eye on that. Keep your fire safety in mind if you are in the Virginia and West Virginia area. Our drought monitors do show we are pretty dry in a majority of the United States, just like I had mentioned with those dew points. Not only are we dry, but we are experiencing some exceptional and extreme droughts here in the New Mexico and Arizona areas. So if you are in any of this Midwest and northern United States, you are seeing somewhat dry to severe droughts conditions in the entire area. Luckily, here in Florida and much of the southeast, we aren't seeing much of that right now. Tonight's temperatures, we are seeing some below freezing temperatures here in Bismarck, Billings. Bismarck going to see 20 degrees, Billings 27, Detroit 22, and Chicago 26. So really, we are seeing some below freezing temperatures in these areas. So if you are outside in the northern United States, definitely bundle up. Tomorrow, look forward to some warmer temperatures all throughout the southern United States. We're seeing 80 in Tallahassee, 36 in Minneapolis, and 67 in Albuquerque, but pretty much sunny in all of those regions. I'm going to pass things over to Isabel to talk about Alaska.
Yes, so this is the Spotlight City for the week. We are going to be stepping into Alaska, and more specifically, Unalaska. So this is an area in the bay of the southwest part. We'll show you the map later, but currently right now it is 44 degrees. Really quick, I went back a little bit. It is 35 degrees is the high, average, and the low 24 degrees on average, with the record high at being only 48 degrees. Current conditions, 44 degrees, light rain and wind from the south at 13 miles per hour. Same thing that I showed earlier. if you're looking at the day planner, 7 o'clock noon is 41, 7 o'clock a.m. is 41 degrees with a 100% chance of rain. Noon 40 degrees, 50% chance of rain, and that rain is going to be pushed off and dissipated by 5 p.m. This is the area that we're looking at. This is Unalaska, as we call it. So that's going to be down here in this Dutch harbor is what they call it. So the name Unalaska doesn't mean that it's not Alaska or seceding from Alaska or anything like that. So that is just the Russian way to say a part of Alaska that is in a peninsula. So that was some confusion. When I first heard about this topic, I was very confused about that. So basically, that just means that it is in the Dutch harbor. This is Unalaska's weekend forecast going all the way to Monday. It's going to be rainy and very, very cold. It might feel like we're in Alaska right now in Tallahassee, but thankfully we're not. We are not dealing with temperatures like this in the high 30s. But sadly for my friends in Unalaska, that is what they are experiencing. So I hope you learned a little bit about Unalaska, but now we're going to zoom 3,000 miles away to our last local forecast of the day.
We learned a little bit about Unalaska, but now let's learn a little bit about right here close to home. Taking a look outside Doak Campbell Stadium, you can actually see some of the smoke, it looks like, from the fires out west. Just got an air quality alert for our area, so between the pollen and now the smoke, we're going to have a fun time stepping outside, aren't we? A little sneezing or a low congestion, but 73 degrees, partly cloudy, so it's nice enough outside to be outside. At least a nice light wind, about 6 miles per hour. And looking across the area, plenty of sunshine to go around, just dealing with some of that fire, and of course, because it is spring, we're dealing with pollen as well. But here's a look at the local radar. Depends on what mode we're in, but sometimes you can see a little bit of that smoke dissipate over from the western areas. So 73 degrees right now in Tallahassee, 65 down in Apalachicola, 73 over in Quincy and Valdosta, 69 down in Perry, and 72 over in Donaldsonville. As we get into tonight, it's going to cool off nicely, so 47 degrees, clear skies in Tallahassee and Quincy, Monticello as well, 47 over in Valdosta, 48 down in Perry, going to have a little bit of cloud cover coming in as well. But as we get into the day tomorrow, it's going to be a nice gradual warm-up. So we're going to be starting in the 40s, 47 degrees at 6 a.m., and then slowly by lunchtime getting to about 71 degrees, and then by 6 p.m. we'll be at 78 degrees. Nice warm day after a cool start. Taking a look at our future radar, we're going to see some clouds pass by, kind of zoom by, but nothing in the way of precipitation through the day tomorrow. And if you're worried about your hair going out and about tomorrow, I'm not really worried about my hair, but I also think maybe this doesn't apply to me. So if you have longer hair, expect it to be wavy stepping out and about tomorrow, because our dew points are going to be increasing during the next day or so, and you're going to be having a fun time as your hair kind of starts to get that cool like surfer look going. Maybe that'll be a little more fun. 78 degrees over tomorrow in Thomasville, 81 over in Valdosta, 79 in Monticello, 76 in up choppy. Dealing with a little bit of cloud cover as we get through the day tomorrow, but definitely a nice setup for tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of the day to get out and about and do some outdoor activities, because as we get into Friday, we're going to be bringing in that rain chance, 80% coverage of showers and storms. We are under a level 1 out of 5 risk for those storms to possibly get a little feisty, and our lows are going to be starting to warm up into Saturday, 60 degrees for our low on Saturday, warming up to 72 degrees. Just kind of getting some of that rain out of here on Saturday morning. Then by Sunday, 76 degrees, 10% coverage of showers and storms. Our next rain threat comes in by Tuesday and Wednesday next week, 60 to 70% coverage of showers and storms. But now I'm going to end our show by passing it over to Oceana and Isabel for one last look around town.
I don't know about you, but I am glad that we're going to be getting out of those super cold temperatures from that warm front and into a warmer weekend.
Yes, definitely. I'm ready for those spring temperatures to come in. I was able to get some sun today, but I will say it was a little bit chilly to do that.
I know, as I said earlier, it was a stark contrast from a week that a lot of people had last week where they traveled to these tropical warm vacations to a 33-degree morning on Tuesday morning.
Yes, definitely. So those pollen counts are also really getting to me. I don't know about you. I have very bad allergies, so spring has started off with a lot of sneezing for me specifically.
Yeah, I left my car out for a couple days over spring break, and I didn't see it, and it was completely covered in yellow dust. So
yes.
That's been crazy, but very indicative of the springtime coming.
Yes, mine too. It's definitely, I agree, a stark contrast from the lovely spring break we all had in tropical areas. But make sure you follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
And watch us live on YouTube, which you probably are, at FSU Weather.
Follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. Send us in your weather videos for a chance to be featured.
And make sure you follow our TikTok at FSU Weather as well.
Yeah, so thank you guys for a great show. Hopefully everyone has a much warmer weekend and stays dry. It's going to be slight chances of storms over the next couple of days.
Yes, definitely. So thanks for tuning in for our Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Oceana Hayden.
And I'm student meteorologist Isabel Weiss.
And have a great day, Tallahassee.
Thank you.